Stella and the Secrets of the Universe. Meet Stella, a curious little girl who loves to look at the night sky. Stella loved nighttime in a way very few children did. When the world outside became still and the sky softened into deep shades of blue and purple, something inside her felt calm and safe. She would sit by her window every night, wrapped in her soft blanket that smelled like lavender. The wind outside whispered gently through the trees, and the stars began to appear slowly, one at a time. She watched them twinkle, each one sending down a tiny spark of light, just for her. Stella imagined that each star held a tiny story, a memory or a dream from far, far away. She wondered if the stars watched her too, and every night as she gazed up she whispered the same words. "Someday I hope I can visit you." Tonight the stars seemed brighter, as if they were finally ready to answer. Stella's telescope stood quietly beside her window, small, simple, and always waiting for her curious eyes. But tonight, as she brushed her fingers along its side, she felt a gentle vibration, like the telescope was waking from a long sleep. A faint golden glow appeared around it. Stella blinked, thinking it was a reflection, but the glow grew stronger, warm like morning sunlight. The telescope shimmered, and then it began to change. The legs folded inward, the metal stretched taller, and the shape smoothed into something new. Slowly it transformed into a graceful silver rocket. Its surface sparkled as though sprinkled with starlight. The door slid open soundlessly, revealing a cozy seat and soft lights inside, like a tiny dream room, floating in space. Stella felt no fear, only wonder. Something deep inside her whispered that this was meant just for her. Stella stepped into the rocket, feeling the seat hug her softly. The lights inside glowed gently, as if encouraging her to relax. Without a push, without a rumble, the rocket lifted up, rising slowly like a feather caught in a warm breeze. The rocket drifted through her window and into the peaceful night sky. Stella looked down and watched her house grow smaller, her street become a quiet line, and her whole town turn into a soft patch of lights. As the rocket climbed higher, clouds hugged its sides like fluffy blankets. Stars appeared in every direction, shimmering with quiet voices. The earth below glowed in shades of blue and white, peaceful and round like a gentle marble. Stella pressed her hand to the window, feeling an overwhelming sense of calm. She whispered, "The universe feels alive," and the stars seemed to twinkle a little brighter, answering her in their quiet language. The first stop on Stella's journey was the moon. It glowed beautifully like a silver lantern hanging in the dark. As she floated closer, Stella noticed every detail, the smooth plains, the soft shadows, the glowing edges that made it seem almost magical. When she reached it, the moon radiated warmth, as if greeting her with a silent hello. Stella imagined the moon speaking softly, saying, "You've finally come, little dreamer." She felt comforted, held gently by its glow. She drifted past craters that looked like peaceful lakes frozen in time. She wanted to reach out and touch its surface, to feel the calmness it carried. Though the moon never spoke aloud, Stella felt a special connection. She whispered, "Thank you for lighting our nights." And the moon shined a little brighter, as if smiling back. Soon the rocket glided toward a warm red light. Mars appeared in the distance, quiet, dusty, and gentle. When Stella landed, she took careful steps onto its soft red sand. The landscape stretched endlessly, calm and quiet, like a desert asleep. A small rover rolled toward her slowly, its lights blinking with cheerful curiosity. Stella knelt down and imagined it greeting her in tiny robotic beeps. Together they walked over soft hills and valleys. She noticed small stones glimmering faintly and patterns in the sand shaped by ancient winds. The silence of Mars felt comforting, like a place where dreams could rest peacefully. Before she left, Stella placed her hand on the rover's smooth surface. She whispered, "Thank you for keeping this place company." The rover blinked happily as the rocket lifted off once more. Jupiter appeared huge, filling Stella's window with waves of swirling color. It looked like a beautiful painting, brought to life creamy whites, warm golds, and deep oranges moving gently in wide spirals. The great red spot turned slowly below a storm, older than she could imagine, but instead of looking wild, it looked calm and steady, as if it had been dancing peacefully for centuries. Stella felt tiny compared to the giant planet, but she also felt safe. It was like watching a giant guardian drifting through space. She rested her head against the window, her eyes soft and dreamy as she watched the slow, mesmerizing movement. The planet didn't frighten her. It soothed her. Jupiter felt like a reminder that even the biggest forces in the universe could move gently. Saturn came into view with a soft shimmer, its rings glowing like icy halos. As Stella drifted closer, the rings sparkled with countless tiny crystals. They moved slowly around the planet, peaceful and graceful. She imagined herself floating among them, brushing her hands through clouds of shimmering dust. The light reflected gently around her, creating a magical glow that made everything feel soft and dreamy. Saturn felt like a place where time moved slowly, where worries melted away, and only quiet beauty remained. Stella closed her eyes for a moment, letting the peaceful glow wash over her. It felt like she was inside a warm, comforting dream made of starlight. The rocket glided into a glowing nebula, a cloud of color stretching. In every direction, purples, pinks, and blues swirled together like soft brush strokes. The nebula was silent, but Stella felt it, humming gently with the energy of new beginnings. Inside the colorful mist, she saw a tiny star glowing faintly, its first light just beginning to shine. It flickered softly, as though gathering courage. Stella leaned closer and whispered, "You're doing beautifully." The baby star glowed brighter, touched by her kindness. Stella felt a warm connection in her chest, like she had just witnessed the universe taking a small precious breath. The nebula felt endless and magical, a place where dreams were born. Stella wished she could stay longer, but she knew her journey wasn't over yet. After exploring the wonders of space, the rocket began its slow journey back to Earth. Stella watched the stars drift past her window, moving like glowing fireflies through the dark. The universe around her felt quiet, warm, and protective, as if it were guiding her gently home. As Earth grew closer, she saw the soft colors of sunrise spreading across its clouds, pink, gold, and pale blue, blending into one gentle painting. Her rocket passed through soft morning clouds that wrapped around her like a cozy blanket. When she arrived back in her room, the rocket shimmered and transformed once more into her little telescope. Everything looked the same as before, but Stella felt different, calmer, braver, filled with wonder. Stella climbed into her warm bed, pulling her blanket close. She opened her notebook and wrote slowly, "The universe is full of magic, and every dream can take you somewhere new." She looked up at the stars on her ceiling, still glowing gently. Each one reminded her of the places she visited, the beauty she saw, and the quiet moments that made her heart feel full. Her eyes grew heavy. She let her thoughts drift back to the moon's glow, Mars's quiet red sand, Jupiter's peaceful colors, and the tiny star in the nebula trying its best to shine. Stella closed her eyes, wrapped in the calm of her journey. Before sleep carried her away, she whispered, "Good night, universe. I'll visit you again." And somewhere far away, the stars twinkled softly as if answering, "We'll be waiting."
And as Stella's adventure comes to a gentle end, the night sky fills with a soft magical glow. The stars gather, twinkling brighter and brighter, until they form shimmering words floating in the darkness. Kiddiverse, the universe of kids' adventures.
In a quiet corner of the night sky, tiny stars begin to shimmer. Soft at first, then brighter, gathering like little fireflies discovering their purpose. They swirl, they dance, they sparkle with joyful energy, forming a glowing path across the cosmos. And from this trail of light, a name slowly appears. Warm, playful, full of wonder. Kiddiverse. The universe of kids' adventures, a cheerful rocket swoops around the letters, leaving behind a ribbon of stardust that twinkles like giggles in the dark. The stars settle, glowing softly as if welcoming every curious child, and with one final sparkling burst. The adventure begins now,